Mrs. Jones is a 55-year-old patient at the Diamond Hornet Hospital diagnosed with COVID-19. She needs assistance with personal care after donning PPE. The medical doctor has also ordered input and output recordings. Please record yourself implementing the following skills using a human subject. Hand hygiene assists with the use of bedpan, provides perinatal care for female, measure and records urinary output, and position on side. Hand hygiene. I'm going to start by addressing my client by name and introducing myself to my client. Then I'm going to turn on the water on the sink and wet my hands and wrists thoroughly. And I'm going to apply soap to my hands. I'm going to lather all surfaces of my wrist, hands, and fingers, producing friction for at least 20 seconds, keeping my hands lower than the elbows and the fingertips down. I'm going to clean my fingernails by rubbing my fingertips against the palms of the opposite hand. I'm going to rinse all surfaces of the wrist, hands, and fingers, keeping hands lower than the elbows and the fingertips down. Then I'm going to use clean, dry paper towel to dry all surfaces of my fingers, hands, and wrists, starting at the fingertips and disposing of the paper towel into the waste container. And then I'm also going to use another clean, dry paper towel to turn off the faucet. Assist with use of bedpan. I'm going to start by explaining the procedure to my client, speaking clearly, slowly, and directly. Then I'm going to provide privacy with a screen or door or curtain. And then I'm going to lower the head of the bed or make sure it is lowered. And then I'm going to place on clean gloves before placing the bedpan under my client. I'm going to place the bedpan correctly under my client's buttocks, and then I'm going to remove and dispose of my gloves without contaminating myself into the waste container and wash my hands. After positioning my client on the bedpan and removing my gloves, I'm going to raise the head of the bed. I'm going to make sure that she has toilet tissue within reach and a hand wipe is within reach, and I'm going to instruct her to clean her hands with the wipe when finished. I'm then going to give her call signal and let her know that she needs to alert me when she's finished. Once she's done, I'm going to put on clean gloves before I remove her bedpan. I'm going to lower the head of the bed before I remove her bedpan. I'm going to ensure that my client is covered except for when I'm placing and removing the bedpan. And then I'm going to empty and rinse the bedpan and pour rinse into the toilet. After I pour that in the toilet, I'm going to place the bedpan in the designated dirty supply area. I'm then going to remove and dispose of my gloves without contaminating myself into the waste container and wash my hands. And then I'm going to place my client's signaling device within reach and make sure her bed is in low position. Perinatal care. I'm going to start by explaining the procedure, speaking clearly, slowly, and directly. I'm then going to provide privacy with a curtain. Then I'm going to check the temperature for safety and verify with my client as well. After verifying the temperature, I'm going to place on clean gloves before I start washing the perineal area. I'm then going to place a pad/linen protector under the perineal area, including the buttocks, before washing. I'm going to expose the perineal area. Then I'm going to apply soap to a wet washcloth. I'm going to wash the genital area, moving from front to back using a clean area of the washcloth for each stroke. Then I'm going to rinse soap from the genital area, moving from front to back while using a clean area of the washcloth for each stroke. I'm then going to dry the genital area, moving from front to back with a dry cloth towel/washcloth. I'm basically just going to go through the same process with the rectum. I'm then going to reposition my client, and after that, I'm going to empty, rinse, and dry my basin, and I'm going to place the basin in the designated dirty spot area. After that, I'm going to dispose of the used linen into soiled linen container and dispose of linen protector appropriately. I'm going to avoid contact between my clothing and the used linen. I'm then going to remove and dispose of my gloves without contaminating myself into the waste container and wash my hands. And I'm going to make sure that my client has her signaling device within reach and her bed is in low position. Measuring and recording urinary output. I'm going to start by putting on clean gloves before handling the bedpan, and then after that, I'm going to pour the contents of the bedpan into the measuring container without spilling or splashing urine outside of the container. I'm then going to rinse my bedpan and pour the rinse into the toilet. I'm then going to measure the amount of urine at eye level with the container on a flat surface, and then I'm going to empty the contents of the measuring container into the toilet, rinse the measuring container out, and pour the rinse into the toilet. Before recording my output, I'm going to remove and dispose of my gloves without contaminating myself into the waste container and wash my hands. I'm then going to record the contents of the container within plus or minus 25 milliliters of my evaluator's reading. Position on side. I'm going to start by explaining the procedure, speaking clearly, slowly, and directly, and I'm going to provide my client with privacy. Then I'm going to lower the head of the bed or make sure that the head of the bed is lower before I start. I'm going to leave the tie rail up on the side that I am going to roll my patient on. I'm then going to assist my client to slowly roll into the side towards the raised side rail, and then I'm going to place or adjust the pillow under her head for support. I'm then going to place a pillow between my patient's arm, and I'm going to make sure that she's not laying on her arm. I'm then going to place a pillow behind my patient's back, and I'm going to place one between her legs. I'm then going to make sure that my patient has her signaling device within reach and her bed is in low position, and I'm going to wash my hands.